Big announcements in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator this week, and now that we've got over the shock of the announcement of the new Flight Simulator, we've still got a huge week when it comes to news and updates of our current sim. We're going to take a detailed look at what's left of the current roadmap for the 2020 sim, including all of this week's news and updates. So let's not waste any more time and jump into the video. Kicking off this week's previews and announcements, DC Designs this week shared some updates of its in-development F4 Phantom. The team mentions they have been focusing on the LOD model and the final coating and polish for the aircraft. A few more sounds that need to be added with the custom sound packs, which is expected to be completed by the end of June, and DC is aiming to have a release of the F4 Phantom at the end of July. That being said, in some more DC design and news, they've shared some first images of the C5 Galaxy cockpit showing the engineer station, and mentioned the development of the C5 still has time to go, and they aim to be releasing this one before the end of the year as well. Of course, we'll keep you posted when it comes to any news of the F4 Phantom and the C5. FS Reborn, this is the team behind the Sting S4, this week showcased their latest aircraft, which is the M500. The team showcased the M500 over at the Two Tone Murphy's Twitch channel and showcased the details of what the M500 has. We'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out the Two Tone Murphy's channel. But the M500 is in now beta testing. The testing team is now expanded to 16 dedicated testers. Plans to extend the team as the following weeks go ahead. From what we can see, the M500 will come with highly detailed exterior and interior equipments, including a GPU, prop ties and chocks and pitot covers, etc. can be turned off or switched on. Custom EFB that controls the payload, the fuel, and also the ground services that we just mentioned. The EFB has a maintenance manager very similar to what we're seeing with the Sting S4, and also it's Navigraph compatible. The FS Reborn has incorporated its own GSX style of ground services for a GA aircraft, which you can ask for a field truck or a private car to drop off your passengers. From the looks of it, the team over at FS Reborn are pulling all the stops out when it comes to this release, and there's no detail at this stage when we'll see the release, but the link's in the description again if you want to check out the stream from the Two Tone Murphy's channel. With the Flight Sim Expo next week, many developers will be announcing some updates for new projects, on which one appears to be INI builds. This week, the team teased a promising the ultimate airline experience coming soon to the simulator. The team posted one screenshot on their Discord, and the one screenshot had a CF6 engine. This type of engine is powered for a wide variety of airliners such as A300, the A310, the A330, the Boeing 747, and also the Boeing 767. INI Builds has already mentioned in the past that their flagship A300 aircraft, which was a flagship product over on the X-Plane platform, will be making its way to Microsoft Flight Simulator at some stage. Perhaps the screenshot is alluding to the A300. INI Builds will be sharing information about the ultimate airline experience on the Expo on the Saturday, and of course we will keep you posted on any information. Moving on to this week's release news and kicking off with Flying Iron Simulations, they have released their latest aircraft, which is the Bf109 G6. The Bf109 was the backbone of the German Air Force all the way up to the end of World War II. It was one of the most advanced fighters when it first appeared with an all-metal monocoque construction, closed canopy and retractable landing gear. The Bf109 was the world's most produced fighter with 34,248 airframes produced from 1936 to 1945. Wow, that's a lot of aircraft. Features included in the product is a high detail 3D model, a custom Y sound set, authentic flight model, extensive recreation of the systems including electrical, custom ground handling, physics and landing gear, dynamic cockpit vibrations, and a fully integrated with the Flying Iron tablet. You can pick up your copy of the Flying Iron's Bf109 G6 directly from their store. I'll leave a link in the description below. Our next release for the week, this one is from Orbex, releasing Mount Hoffman Airport in Australia. Mount Hoffman is the highest airport in Australia, and it is located near Mount Hoffman, which is in the Victorian Alps. Yes, we have snow and Alps in Australia. The airport is primarily serves as a gateway for Mount Hoffman Ski Resort, which is a popular destination for skiers and snowboarders during the winter months in Oz. The airport has a single runway and is mainly used for general aviation, charter flights and business jets and regional international carriers. The airport offers very challenging weather conditions all year round, so it's worth checking the conditions before departing. Features include a detailed ground apron textures, high detailed terminal interior, custom vegetation, custom animations, full PBR textures, 100 plus custom assets, and you can pick up your copy of Mount Hotham Airport directly from the Orbeck store. I'll leave a link in the description below. Carenado have released their latest aircraft, which is the Cessna 182 RG2. The RG means retractable gear. This version of the Cessna is a single-engine, 4-seater, high-performance engine with retractable landing system, able to fly up to speeds of 156 knots and a range of 650 miles, while carrying about 4 passengers plus luggage. This RG version of the Cessna 182 does provide about 10 to 15% fuel economy than the normal 182, but it does have higher maintenance costs, so it's a bit of a trade-off. Features included with this package release is high level of 3D details throughout the aircraft, PBR materials, 8 liveries, integration with the PMS 50 and the TDS Sims, both 750s and the 750XI, has cold and dark, ready for taxi and ready for takeoff start options. Original high quality digital sounds are being recorded from the real aircraft, and it has a realistic flight dynamics. Also, it has a tablet EFB which can be used for the static elements, pilots, opening doors and aircraft covers and other bits and pieces. You can pick up your copy of the Carenado Cessna 182 RG2 directly from the InSim Marketplace store. A big thank you to Protest Sims for sponsoring this YouTube video. Their products enhance your current flight simulator hardware by turning your flight controls into something closer to the real thing. The team makes different add-ons for flight controls such as Honeycomb, SciTech and Velocity over a variety of different aircraft, including Boeing, BAE, Cessna Citation, VisionJet, TBM, just to mention a few. The current add-on I'm using at the moment is the Protest Sims new dual action Boeing 737 add-on for the Honeycomb Bravo, which features a detent flap and speed brakes. This really improves the immersion and realism of my flights. For Odds Flight Sim viewers, you can use this code AUSFS on checkout for a 15% discount on all Protest Sim products. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can check out their page, and a big thank you to our friends over at Protest Sims for sponsoring this video. Moving on to this week's sim update news, and it would be safe to say there was a lot of it to kick the start of the week. We had the announcement trailer of the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 simulator that will be released next year. Please check out the description as we'll have links to all the content of us covering on the channel here. Please consider subscribing if you want us to bring you up to date weekly for both simulators when it comes to Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. That being said, Microsoft did confirm they will continue the planned roadmap for the 2020 sim, which is scheduled all the way up to the end of this year. And one of those updates or releases that was announced this week, which is the free June DLC. This DLC will be released in November of this year, and it will release alongside the June movie at the same time. This DLC project has been in its inception since November 2021, which really gives us a bit of a possible sign how far Microsoft Flight Simulator internal roadmap could possibly be. From the looks of it, DLC will include the June flying machine with also modeled maps of the area, training and the June mission. All this will be provided for free and should take the surprise spot when it comes to the current roadmap for November. Moving on to next week, we'll see the next city update release, which will be City Update 2, which will be France, and also the latest local legend for the area ahead of the France air show. Next is the Aircraft and Avionics 2 update, which is focusing on the Boeing 787 and the 747 aircraft, which is almost complete. The team is aiming for a June 29th release after many different betas, and have been building upon that, and now they're at their final stages of polishing. This still leaves us on the current published roadmap for the remainder of the year. Sim Update 13, which includes a non-announced feature at this stage, 2 more world updates, the next Aircraft and Avionics update number 3, and a bunch of world and local legends released for the remainder of the published roadmap. Moving on to this week's backlog update. This week we've seen a total reduction of 37 products from week to week. Aircraft have been reduced by a total of 1, but we've seen an increase in the P1 releases moving from 4 to 7. So we've got a bunch of aircraft to be released on the marketplace very soon. Airports have been reduced by 24, liveries been reduced by 2, and sceneries have been reduced by 14, with a total products left in the backlog list of 392. On this week's marketplace releases, we've seen a total of 86 product releases. 44 of these are on PC and 42 of these are on Xbox. This week's aircraft releases is the Coronado 182 RG2, which we mentioned earlier. MS Sceneries with another aircraft, which is the Boeing RC-135, and the Raver Avis Sims with the Bulldog, and the Nevis Designs with an S300 CBI helicopter. As always, remember to do your own homework before you're purchasing aircraft. Just because it's cheap, it doesn't mean it is any good. The rest of this week's marketplace includes 7 livery packs, 11 night lighting packs, 1 traffic pack, and 1 utility, which is Parallel 42's Flow, which is available for both PC and Xbox now. And also 19 airports were released on the InSim marketplace store. Thank you very much for your support. If you missed any of our coverage regarding the announcement of the 2024 Flight Simulator Sim, please check out our videos next and consider subscribing for more weekly content when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024 update news.